Unveiling the 7 cars. The world wasn't ready for remember that time you saw a concept car so futuristic it looked like it belonged in a sci-fi movie? Yeah, us too. But what about those cars that were so ahead of their time, they ended up flopping commercially? Those are the hidden gems of automotive history, the brilliant ideas that just needed the world to catch up. Today on Car Computer Exchange, we're hitting the rewind button and taking a deep dive into the 7 cars the world wasn't ready for. What's going on, petrolheads and EV enthusiasts? This is Car Computer Exchange, your one-stop shop for everything from oil changes to outrageous car history. Today we're ditching the dusty manuals and greasy undercarriages to explore the innovative, outrageous, and frankly weird cars that were light years ahead of their time. These are the rides that had people scratching their heads and saying, "Whoa, wait a minute, that's just crazy talk." So grab a virtual coffee, settle in, and get ready to see some seriously ahead-of-the-curve car designs that might just make you rethink your next set of wheels. Electric Dreams, the GM EV1, 1996 to 1999. Fast forward to 2024. Electric cars are everywhere. Tesla's the king of the castle, and everyone's scrambling to get a piece of the EV pie. But believe it or not, this love affair with electric vehicles started way back in the 90s with the GM EV1. This sleek little car was a pioneer, boasting a surprising, for the time, 80-mile range. So why the short lifespan? Blame it on those clunky lead-acid batteries, think dragging a phone charger the size of a suitcase everywhere you go. The limited range coupled with GM's decision to scrap the program, some say due to pressure from the oil industry, that's a conspiracy theory for another video, meant the EV1 sputtered out before its time. Form over function? The Chrysler Airflow, 1934 to 1937. We all know good gas mileage is a beautiful thing, but who knew the key could be a car that looked like a melted bar of soap? Enter the Chrysler Airflow, the world's first streamlined production car. Think Dolphin meets automobile. A radical departure from the boxy designs of the era. The Airflow was a marvel of aerodynamics, slicing through the wind like a hot knife through butter, translating to major fuel savings. So, what went wrong? Believe it or not, some folks just couldn't get past the odd looks. The lesson here? Sometimes even the most efficient designs need a little more time to win over hearts and wallets. From Le Mans glory to reality check, the Jaguar XJ 220 1992 to 1994. Picture this, Jaguars on a hot streak dominating Le Mans with their mighty V12 engines. The world craves a piece of that racing magic, and Jaguar responds with the XJ 220 concept, a fire-breathing supercar with a promised V12 heart. Pre-orders go wild, but then reality bites. Stricter emission regulations, a global recession, and buyer dropout force Jaguar to scrap the V12 dream. The production XJ 220 ended up with a smaller twin-turbo V6, a disappointment for some, but a sign of things to come. This car, though not the fire-breathing monster initially envisioned, is a fascinating early adopter of downsizing and turbocharging, technologies that define modern supercars today. Alright gearheads, halfway through this trip down memory lane, hit that like button if you're starting to wonder what other wacky car ideas history buried, and don't forget to leave a comment below. Did you have a favorite ahead-of-its-time car that never quite got its due? Maybe it was a flying DeLorean prototype. Hey, a guy can dream. Or perhaps a car powered by pure sunshine and good vibes. Coming soon, hopefully. Let us know in the comments, and we'll keep the conversation rolling. The original Swiss Army knife of cars, the AMC Eagle, 1979 to 1987. Remember the good old days when gas prices were lower than your social anxiety? Yeah, us neither. The 1970s oil crisis threw a wrench into the plans of gas-guzzling muscle cars, and car companies scrambled to adapt. Enter the AMC Eagle, the world's first crossover SUV. Think of it as the ultimate choose-your-own-adventure vehicle. It had the practicality of a sedan with the off-road chops of a Jeep, all rolled into one glorious package. So why didn't it take off? Well, for starters, the off-roading craze wasn't quite in full swing yet. People just weren't as interested in conquering mountains as they were in conquering the grocery store parking lot. Plus, the minivan revolution was just around the corner, offering a different kind of family-friendly practicality. The Eagle might not have soared commercially, but it gets major props for planting the seed for the crossover craze we see dominating roads today. Tech that tried too hard. The Cadillac 5864, 1981. Imagine a car engine that could magically transform from a gas-guzzling monster to a fuel-sipping saint. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, in 1981, Cadillac introduced the V864 engine, a marvel of engineering that could deactivate cylinders depending on driving conditions. Basically, it was the original eco mode, a concept that's all the rage today. So what went wrong? The problem was, the technology just wasn't there yet. The engine management system was like a confused puppy, struggling to decide how many cylinders the car actually needed. This resulted in hesitation, jerky performance, and a whole lot of driver frustration. Cadillac threw in the towel after just a year, but hey, they get points for trying. Their V864 might have been a technological hiccup, but it paved the way for the smooth and efficient cylinder deactivation systems we see in modern cars today. A blast from the future that arrived too soon. The Aston Martin Lagonda, 1976 to 1989. Ever walk into a car dealership and feel like you've stepped onto a spaceship? That's probably what happened if you encountered the Aston Martin Lagonda in the 1970s. This luxury sedan was dripping with futuristic design. Think wedge shapes, sharp angles, and enough buttons to launch a rocket. Well, maybe not quite. Aston Martin, facing some financial woes, decided to go all in on tech with the Lagonda. They hand-built the bodies, talk about exclusivity, crammed the car with touch-sensitive buttons, a nightmare waiting to happen in the pre-smartphone era, and even threw in a digital dashboard, which, let's just say, wasn't exactly user-friendly back then. The Lagonda was a valiant effort to redefine luxury motoring, but the technology just wasn't there to support its ambition. The hand-built bodies were expensive, the touch-sensitive buttons were frustrating, and the digital dash was a buggy mess. The Lagonda ended up being a beautiful and expensive reminder that sometimes even the most innovative ideas need time to mature. But hey, at least it looked like it belonged in a sci-fi movie, right? The forgotten pioneer of efficiency, the Audi A2, 1999 to 2005. Remember that time gas prices were so high, even your grandma started walking to bingo? Okay, maybe not that extreme, but the late 90s and early 2000s saw a renewed focus on fuel efficiency. Enter the Audi A2, a car so lightweight and aerodynamic it practically defied the laws of physics. Well, not really, but it was pretty darn close. This tiny aluminum spaceship was a marvel of engineering, boasting incredible fuel economy and surprisingly spacious interiors for its size. So, why wasn't it a runaway success? The biggest hurdle? Its futuristic design. Think bug-eyed headlights and a vaguely teardrop-shaped body. Let's just say it wasn't exactly winning beauty contests. The high price tag and limited availability also didn't help. However, the A2 deserves recognition for being a true pioneer in lightweight materials and fuel efficiency, concepts that are absolutely crucial in today's eco-conscious car market. So there you have it, gearheads. 7 automotive oddities that history, somewhat unfairly, left in the dust. These cars might not have been chart toppers, but they were definitely trendsetters. They dared to be different, pushing boundaries and paving the way for the amazing cars we see on the road today. Who knows, maybe your next car will be the next ahead-of-its-time marvel. If you're a car enthusiast with a thirst for knowledge and maybe a hankering for some truly bizarre automotive creations, smash that subscribe button and join the Car Computer Exchange fam. We've got more automotive deep dives, wacky car history, and greasy undercarriage wisdom coming your way. See you next time.